These are my uncles, and they're about to run the craziest run that they have ever run in their life. It is so crazy in this video, and it gets so tense. Just keep watching to find out what happens.
Welcome, humans! This is Byler number 1, Byler number 2, Byler number 3. We're getting ready to do the Pikes Peak Ascent, half marathon, all the way up to the top of Pikes Peak. And we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a good time. I have my little hands with me, and we'll keep you updated as we go.
I'm Uncle Jeff. I provide the sound effects.
Show the camera your honeybee one.
I think that made it into the audio.
Uncle Feth, Uncle Tom, Uncle
I'm gonna
Billy.
win. We're not gonna win. We're gonna finish.
We're gonna finish. I'm the favorite uncle. Bye.
3, 2, 1, go!
See you at the top.
All right, 1 mile in. Power hike. Made it to the cog railway. We're all uphill. And not in as good a shape as we think we are. We got this.
While my 3 uncles were on the Pikes Peak, my grandpa was driving up and he got some amazing views. So look at this one. Then the news came on.
Pikes Peak Marathon and Ascent plan to make a decision on how these storms could impact the races this weekend. Now, as we've said, the 11 Breaking Weather team has told us there could be up to a foot of snow on Pikes Peak by Sunday evening. The first wave of the ascent kicks off tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. The marathon is scheduled for the same time on Sunday morning.
So that wasn't good, but there was nothing we could do about it.
All right, we're halfway done. We have Byler number 2, Byler number 3. We've lost Byler number 1. We got to the first checkpoint and they said, you're 3 minutes away from being cut off and turned around.
And that spooked us. So we have picked up the pace. But we know Billy knows the pace. And we know that he will be okay. Hopefully.
Do we feel bad?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. But here we are.
So what happened to Billy? This is a tough one. So we started out and it was immediately just felt tougher than the last time Billy and I did it. And we got to the first checkpoint a little bit slower than we had anticipated. And as soon as we got there, the race official told us that we got there with 3 minutes to spare. So if we would have been 3 minutes later, we would have been turned around and disqualified. So we immediately knew we had to go quick. So we got some extra water and then we took off and we went at a faster pace. And unfortunately, Billy wasn't keeping up. And we kept looking for him, kept waiting for him. And he didn't show up at the next checkpoint. Or actually 2 checkpoints later. We waited till the end and he didn't show up. And later found out that he got altitude sickness, which meant he got really dizzy, he got really nauseous. He actually would have been able to keep going, that wouldn't have disqualified him, but he just was feeling so bad that they wouldn't let him continue. So altitude sickness is when your body is not adjusting to extreme altitude high up. So the race started at about 7,000 feet above sea level, and it ends at about 14,100 feet. And altitude sickness is where your body just doesn't adjust. Well, it's different for each person, but it can be pretty bad. In Billy's case, he was so nauseous and he was so dizzy that it was hard for him to stand up straight. So he had to turn around for his own safety. He made the right decision. It was sad.
After that, my uncle stopped recording because he said it was getting too hard to focus on this and to look at what's in front of him.
Why did we stop filming? A few reasons. One, we lost Billy. It wasn't as fun anymore, especially once we found out that he was so sick he had to turn around. It wasn't quite as fun anymore. Also, it was just so exhausting that any extra movement of all, like getting your water bottle or going in your backpack for a snack, anything extra just really zapped your energy. And so stopped filming at a certain point just because I did not have the energy to grab the phone and talk. And we were also pretty sad that Billy didn't make it too. Let me tell you a little bit about what happens at the checkpoint. So there was like 10 checkpoints. Some of them was just a timer, and it would record that you got there, and it would show on the website for a family that was tracking. But the aid stations were at about 3 or 4 of the checkpoints, and they had drinks and they had snacks. The drinks was either water or you could get something with electrolytes in it. But the best part was the food. So at every aid station, they had pretzels, Cheez-Its, and then they also had some sweets too, like M&Ms and Skittles. What did it feel like to finish? It felt unbelievably good. The last 3 miles were the toughest. It took about an hour and 35 minutes to finish the last 3 miles. You felt like you were making a good pace, and then I checked my watch and I'd only gone like a tenth of a mile. That was really tough. And you could see the finish line. With about 2 miles to go, I could hear the crowd and I could see the finish line. But there were so many switchbacks and curves that you just never knew how far you actually had to go. So I got to the sign that said 1 mile left to go, and I looked at my watch and I knew I only had about 25 minutes, and I knew I was not gonna make it in time. But I kept pushing on, and then with about a third of the mile, a mile to go, I lost Jeff, and I figured he'd probably finished at that point. But then I looked up and I saw Dad. Up there, and he was cheering me on. He had found me with his binoculars, and he was cheering me on, and that really helped. And then I just kept going, and then I looked up and I saw that I only had one more turn to make until the finish. And I started to run with all the energy I had left.
We're at the 2024 Pike Peak Ascent here, 14,115 feet.
And I crossed the finish line, and the only thing I could do was bend over and try to catch my breath because I just could not breathe. I may have teared up a little bit. It was a bit emotional. They gave Dad the medal so that he could give me the medal around my neck, and technically I did not finish on time, but because you have to finish it within 6.5 hours. But they, because it was such a tough day for everyone, they gave an extra 10 minutes for me, and I finished 9 minutes late, so I had 1 minute to spare, and I got the medal and I got the finisher's jersey because of it. A couple facts about the race. There were about 2,000 people who ran the race. They let them go in about groups of 100, 90 seconds apart. I was number 1279, which meant I was in wave 12, but Jeff was in wave 17, Billy was in wave 19. And so Jeff and I we went with Billy so that we would all go together. We ran about the first 3/4 of a mile. We didn't even run the first mile. That was about all that we ran, just because half a mile in, it started going uphill really fast, and it was really tough, and we needed to conserve energy. So the rest of the race, we went up, walking fast when we could. There was a few downhill spurts that we ran. Out of the 2,000 racers, I finished in 1,508th place. Jeff finished in 1,485th place. Not great, but really just wanted to finish. The altitude gain, 7,815 feet is how high up we gained during the race. Compared to last time, it was a lot worse. It took me an extra 59 minutes. I did 2019, 5 hours and 40 minutes. This time was 6 hours and 39 minutes. The interviewer is a pro.
Hi. This picture was with Billy, so obviously
Yes. That was early in the race. This is a picture of all of us together. There were photographers spread at different parts of the race, and I saw this one coming up, and so we were close by, and so I got us all together for that picture right there.
So you were faking hurt.
No, I wasn't trying to look like I was hurt. I was just taking a step when the others weren't. and I have my arms around him.
This was you. You don't look like you're dying in this picture.
No, that picture right there is at the finish line.
You don't
That
look
is
like
me. That is me, like 5 steps away from finishing. I had made the corner. After you turn the last corner, it's like 20 yards to the finish, and that's me putting both hands up.
Guys, look at this. That's tall. Look at how high up that is.
Yeah, we're very high up. 14,100 feet altitude.
This is what they hiked.
After mile 10, the trees can't grow anymore because it's too high up, not enough oxygen. I guess that's the reason why. So the last 3 miles, there's no trees. You're just out in the open.
Well, thank you guys for watching. If you want to see the video that my uncle did on his YouTube channel back in 2019, it's in the link in the description, and it's on the YouTube channel. If you scroll down on the home page, his YouTube channel is Tommy Byler. See ya.
I'll never get used to this.